Hey, what's going on, everybody? I'm the Trading Chief. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, I cover biopharmaceutical companies that have upcoming FDA reviews or biological license applications submitted to the Food and Drug Administration. Um, and I also cover uh, upcoming stock mergers. So, in this video, we're going to be taking a look at a company with an FDA review coming up on June 21st of 2023, which is a little ways away, but I like to give people the information that they need in order to make the decisions that they want. Um, and just a little background on this company. Aldeyra Therapeutics Incorporated is a biotechnology company which engages in research and development activities with related general business planning, including raising capital. It engages in the discovery of therapies designed to treat immune-mediated diseases. I don't really like this profile write-up. It doesn't really tell you anything. Um, but it's interesting because I haven't seen anything, a biotechnology company that uh, includes raising capital. Is that capital for other companies? I don't know. But anyway, let's get into the FDA review that they have coming up, and that is the first news article that we're going to take a look at is on October 6th of 2022, and it says Aldeyra Therapeutics achieves primary endpoint in Part 1 of Phase 3 GUARD trial of ADX2191 in proliferative vitreoretinopathy. And this says ADX2191 statistically superior to historical control of primary endpoint of prevention of retinal detachment. This is numerical superiority of ADX2191 over routine surgical care achieved for majority of secondary, exploratory, and safety endpoints. ADX2191 is observed to be well tolerated with no safety concerns noted. That's very important for it to get approved. Company plans to discuss completion of clinical development in proliferative vitreoretinopathy with the U.S. Food and Drug Administration in the first half of 2023. A company to host conference call at 8 a.m. Eastern Time today, and again, that was October 6th. So this is ALDX to announce the achievement of the primary endpoints in Part 1 of the Phase 3 GUARD trial of ADX2191 for intravitreal administration, an investigational drug candidate for the prevention of proliferative vitreoretinopathy, a rare sight-threatening retinal disease with no approved therapy. ADX2191 was statistically superior to historical control for the prevention of retinal detachment due to PVR over 6 months. This is PVR represents a major unmet medical need and is particularly difficult to treat, highlighting the need for an effective therapy, stated the professor and chair of the Institution of Ophthalmology and Visual Science, Rutgers, New Jersey Medical School. The recent reports describing the activity of methotrexate in preventing PVR, in conjunction with the results of the GUARD trial, offer hope to many patients and physicians that today have few options for treatment. Part 1 of the GUARD trial was designed to assess the preliminary activity of ADX2191, a novel vitreous-compatible formulation of methotrexate, versus historical control and routine surgical care without therapy in patients with PVR. 68 patients received ADX2191 and 38 patients received routine surgical care. Relative to historical control, statistically significant reduction in retinal detachment over 6 months was observed following serial intravitreal injection of ADX2191. Although not statistically powered for secondary or exploratory endpoints, the results of the GUARD trial demonstrated numerical superiority of ADX2191 over routine surgical care in reducing the dichotomous endpoints of retinal detachment rate over 6 months. Hypotony, complete retinal detachment by 6 months, macular attachment by 6 months, and epiretinal membrane formation. Visual acuity was similar between ADX2191 treatment and routine surgical care groups. Central macular thickness was numerically lower in ADX2191 treated patients. No safety signals were observed in the trial, and ADX2191 was well tolerated. There were no observed treatment emergent serious adverse events. The most common adverse event associated with the ADX2191 treatment was punctuate keratitis, a well-known side effect of intravitreal methotrexate that was most commonly mild in severity. So the reason why this is so important, and I've said it in a couple other videos, is the data that the company sends to the FDA for approval is the phase 3 safety study trials, and other statistics and analysis of the trials that went on. But the safety is like the final say on whether or not if the FDA board approves, or the FDA approves the drug to be used. So I always like to look at the phase 3 data. I'm not going to continue reading the rest of it. You're more than welcome to come over and look at it because there's a lot of it. I guess it's kind of really the, but so I just wanted to bring that up just that way you kind of know what you're dealing with if you decide to get into this. And then the next news article I want to look at was from December 21st of 2022. It says Aldeyra Therapeutics submits a new drug application to the U.S. Food and Drug Administration for ADX2191 for the treatment of primary vitreoretinal lymphoma. So it's a cancer, a retinal cancer. ALDX today announced the submission of a new drug application to the U.S. Food and Drug Administration for ADX2191, an investigational drug candidate for the treatment of primary vitreal lymphoma, a rare but potentially fatal cancer with no FDA-approved therapies. So that makes it very interesting to buy, because now, since there's no treatments for this and this is a potential treatment, I'm expecting this stock to have a big move when it's bought or accepted, if it's accepted. The NDA submission is supported by a combination of published literature on the safety and efficacy of methotrexate for the treatment of primary vitreoretinal. So the only side effect that they have, they just submitted. So they submitted with their new drug application submission. They submitted the published literature on methotrexate for the treatment of the primary vitreoretinal lymphoma, which was the only thing that they have as a well-known documented side effect for the surgeries that they have for VTR. And safety data from the recently completed phase 3 GUARD trial of ADX2191 for the prevention of proliferative, or PVR, during the phase 3 GUARD trial. No safety signals were observed, and ADX2191 was well tolerated. There were no observed treatment emergent serious adverse events. So again, going over the safety stuff that we already talked about. And then the last article is on March 2nd. This right here. It was on March 2nd. It says FDA accepts for priority review ADX2191, new drug application for the treatment of PVR, lymphoma, which is, a cancer. And the PDUFA date is June 21st of 2023, which I told you earlier. The planned U.S. launch of ADX2191 in second half of 2023, pending approval by the FDA. The ADX2191 with the potential to be the first FDA-approved available for patients suffering from PVR lymphoma. Says ALDX today announced that the U.S. Food and Drug Administration accepted for priority review the new drug application. That's PVR. A priority review is important because it takes it from being a year-long review of the drug to being only about 9 or 10 months. So that's why it's been pushed here instead of March. So ADX2191, an investigational drug candidate for the treatment of PVR. The FDA assigned a PDUFA date of June 21st, 2023. The FDA noted that no potential filing review issues have been identified. The FDA's decision to grant priority review with a PDUFA date 4 months from the NDA acceptance underscores the significant need for an FDA-approved treatment of primary vitreoretinal lymphoma, a rare but potentially fatal cancer. So that's another plus with this one. We are working closely with the FDA during the review process to bring ADX2191 to patients as quickly as possible, and plan to launch ADX2191 in the United States in the second half of this year, pending approval by the FDA. The NDA submission is supported by a combination of more than 3 decades of published literature on the safety and efficacy of methotrexate, the active ingredient of ADX2191 for the treatment of primary vitreoretinal lymphoma, in addition to safety data from the recent completed phase 3 GUARD trial of ADX2191 in patients with PVR. During the phase 3 GUARD trial, no safety signals were observed, and the ADX2191 was well tolerated. There were no observed treatment emergent serious adverse events, which we've read 3 times now. So there's all that. I am very bullish on this to the extent that I am probably going to buy this probably as early as tomorrow if I have the money available. I have to look and see what I can sell and hop into this, because it's going to be good, I think. So, all right, that's all I got for you. Have a good night. Thanks for watching. Oh, if you like this content, consider hitting that like and subscribe button, and come check us out in the Banking with Billy Discord. Again, thanks for watching. Have a good night.